Here's what's happening right now. Are we going to have to trade in these 40-degree temperatures in order to actually get some sunshine in here? We'll look at them changing. 7-day forecast coming up. Karen.
Also first at 4, the big 3 at the White House. President Trump talks about the future of the auto industry. We are live this afternoon in Washington, D.C. A local mother is killed inside her own home. Her 10-year-old child is the one to call 911. We're tracking the latest in the investigation. Up first, Flint water breakthrough. New information at this hour on lead levels, and it's news that residents have been waiting a long time to hear. First at 4 starts now. And we begin with that breaking story that has been a long time coming for the long-suffering residents of Flint. Finally, lead levels are back to normal, although residents still need to proceed with caution. Devin Scillian is live in the newsroom with a new report on the quality of Flint water. So what's the latest, Devin?
Well, Karen, the good news comes from a letter sent to the mayor of Flint from Michigan's Department of Environmental Quality. It was back in 2014. Flint switched its water supply from the Detroit water system to the Flint River, and a decision was now made, notoriously, to not treat the lines for corrosion. That resulted in very high levels of lead in Flint's drinking water and a series of actions, criminal charges, lawsuits, all still playing out in the courts, but the corrective actions now appear to be working. The so-called action level of lead in water is anything over a concentration of 15 parts per billion. Now, early last year, the levels were 20 parts per billion, but from July to December of 2016, the month just passed, the levels dropped to 12, which means the city no longer exceeds federal limits on its water. But, as Karen mentioned, in practical terms, for the time being, residents are being told to keep using the filters or bottled water because work replacing the pipes in Flint could cause lead levels to spike in individual homes. So we're gathering a reaction to the new test results, checking with Governor Snyder. We'll have his reaction as well when you join us on Local 4 News coming up at 5. Karen, back to you.
All right, thank you, Devin. Now to the White House, where the auto industry is taking center stage in the very early days of the Donald Trump administration. The president hosted the domestic big 3 auto CEOs at the White House for breakfast. The talk was jobs and much more. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney is live in Washington, D.C. with the story. Rod?
Yeah, good afternoon, Karen. You know, the president ran on one very important thing, and that was improving the American economy. And, of course, getting new American jobs, new jobs in Michigan in the auto industry are certainly high on that list. But the president's approach in many ways is all over the map with a lot of ideas. The question, of course, for the 3 auto CEOs is how they can build cars for a profit in the United States. So while the president's offering to cut the corporate income tax, fight China on currency manipulation, they were asking questions about what could be done about gas mileage rules and what the border tax might look like. So this is complex stuff, not solved in an hour-long meeting at a White House breakfast, but it does get the conversation rolling.
And it's not the construction I want, although that brings jobs. It's the long-term jobs that we're looking for. We're bringing manufacturing back to the United States big league. We're reducing taxes very substantially, and we're reducing unnecessary regulations. And we want regulations, but we want real regulations that mean something.
There's a huge opportunity, working together as an industry with government that we can do and improve the environment, improve safety, and improve the jobs creation and the competitiveness of manufacturing. And we're looking forward to all the elements that Mark talked about to be able to do that.
And of course, we wanted to make sure we found out from the Michigan delegation how it is that they're reacting to all of this and what this means going forward politically and, of course, economically. And so coming up in Local 4 News at 5 and 6, we'll take a closer look. Back to you.
Rod, have you run across a theme in Washington today when it comes to the president's economic plans?
Yeah, it's almost a right-hand turn, Karen, in that, yes, Donald Trump wants to bring jobs to the United States, but the real unifying factor here is what's called the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Trade program that Donald Trump has said he's not going to get involved with. That made a lot of Democrats, particularly the Michigan delegation's Democrats in the Senate, very happy. And so we'll be hearing from them about that. And of course, we'll be taking a look at what all of this means in the long run coming up at 6 o'clock. So there's much to do, much to talk about in the next hour and a half.
All right, we'll be checking back with you. Thank you, Rod. In other new developments, President Trump has signed executive orders to advance the Keystone and Dakota Access pipelines. Both Both had been blocked by the Obama White House. The president also said he should be naming a new Supreme Court justice by next week. And his cabinet appointees are making progress, including Dr. Ben Carson, who received unanimous committee approval to lead the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Also first at 4, an unimaginable scene in Commerce Township where 3 local children are found home upstairs. Their mother is murdered downstairs. Her body was found last night after her 10-year-old daughter called police to that house. When police arrived, they found a 38-year-old woman dead and her husband covered in blood. The entire neighborhood was shocked by the news.
We just can't believe something like this happened in this neighborhood. So yeah, it's very devastating and shocking to hear.
Police also found a bloody knife inside that home, which they believe was the murder weapon. The husband is in the hospital. Deputies say suffering from self-inflicted injuries. Investigators are questioning him. Southfield police are investigating an altercation at this hotel, trying to make sure an unidentified woman is safe this afternoon. They say she met 2 men at the Hilton Garden Inn on American Drive Sunday afternoon. They fear that the men actually forced her to leave the hotel with them. This is a photo of that woman. If you know her, give Southfield police a call. At this point, police just want to make sure that she is safe. The search is on for a man who approached several kids in New Baltimore. Police say this maroon van has been seen at 2 separate locations this week. On Saturday, a man driving the van talked to a group of children while they were walking down the street. Then, on Monday, the van followed a girl home from school. Now police are asking anyone who sees this maroon van to stay away and call police immediately. The Warren City Council will meet in just a few hours as controversy continues to swirl around Mayor Jim Fouts. One city council member is talking about hiring an independent counsel to deal with a questionable Fouts fundraiser. There are also questions about offensive audio tapes where the mayor allegedly makes derogatory comments about African Americans, women, and the disabled. Fouts says it's not him on those tapes. Coming up at 6, a live report on what to expect at that meeting. In the first forecast, of course, lots of folks are enjoying the warmer weather. Some a little upset because, man, we sure haven't seen the sunshine in a long time.
Some. You should check my email. The only thing that really differentiates this shot from what we've been showing you for the last several days is less fog, and we're really splitting hairs there. Temperatures very similar. We're right around 40 degrees, slightly cooler in Ann Arbor and Lapeer, which is 37, and just enough wind to give us a wind chill out there. Wind chills right around that freezing mark, the 32 generally across southeast Michigan. Temperatures in the upper 30s to mid 30s for this evening, so very mild for January. But it is going to be a switch when we get to the end of this 7-day forecast. We'll take a look at that and some pretty wide-ranging highs tomorrow in your 4-zone forecast coming up in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines all around the world. We begin in Palestine, where dozens of Palestinians gathered to protest President Trump's plan to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. During the rally, protesters burned pictures of Trump and called the move a crime against the country. Despite the protest, White House spokesman Sean Spicer says no final decision has been made and that the decision-making process is still in the early stages. In Italy, at least 6 people are dead after a helicopter crashed into a mountain. The aircraft was carrying an injured skier when it crashed just after noon local time. The skier, 2 police officers, and 3 medics were all killed in that crash. At this time, it's unclear exactly what caused the accident, although bad weather is believed to be the main factor. Moving to Sweden, where police have arrested 3 men accused of taking part in a rape that was streamed on Facebook Live. The video was posted on a private Facebook group, so authorities are having trouble tracking it down. In the meantime, the 3 suspects have been brought in for questioning as police turn to the public for help on finding the video. Still ahead, first at 4, a major employer in Metro Detroit has announced some major plans to hire thousands of people in 2017. Also ahead, this year, diversity making progress at the Academy Awards, and that's just one piece of Hollywood history as the Oscar nominations are announced. Paula.
Yep, we are diving into it. We're talking about school start times and teenagers and what the research is really saying.
The Brave coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. President Trump has called Obamacare a disaster and says big, new, important changes are coming. But how could those changes affect you and your family? I'm Hank Winchester. We'll have more coming up in a special report.
All right, thank you, Hank. If you're a parent battling to get your teenager out of bed in the morning, you are battling biology. And new research is urging parents and schools to call a ceasefire. A new Canadian study says early start times at school conflict with the circadian clocks of teenagers. Teenage biology dictates it's more difficult for them to fall asleep before 11 p.m. and to get up before 8 a.m. The study urges schools to look at later start times. Our Paula Tubman found one local district that's already tweaking its schedule and says it's really paying off.
Lots of factors go into deciding school start times. You got to talk about busing schedules and after school athletics, as well as parent schedules. Sometimes it's really a business decision, but there's more and more research that says that really when you take a look at schedules and business over really what teenagers need in order to succeed, it really does make a difference in the outcomes. Talk to the teachers and principals who've experienced the difference between a 7:30 a.m. start time for high schoolers and an 8 o'clock start time.
Let's say we start at 7:30. Kids were half asleep. If we start at 8, are they still asleep? It takes them, let's put it this way, by 8:30, they are now awake.
South Lake High School in the South Lake School District of St. Clair Shores has done the math. They've gone back and forth on high school start times since 2013 to test the research, and the difference is clear to them.
They are more engaged than they would be at 7:30.
School now starts at 8 a.m., and the district is even doing more research on a possible later start time because this data does matter to students and their performance. In fact, the assistant principal at this high school did her own research.
My thesis was on sleep deprivation in adolescents. When we're little, we can get up real early, and when we're teenagers, our bodies don't work like that anymore.
And there's also physiological data. Teenagers need more sleep. Their bodies are making such massive changes that for every extra moment of sleep, you basically get a better teenager in most every way.
When we have those full cycles of sleep, that's when our brain starts filing things away and remembering what we learned the next day. So what I was finding is a lot of times, especially in my first hour, kids would come in and they really did not remember what we went over the day before. And it was because they're just not getting enough sleep.
It's not just the recent Canadian study that shows later start times for teenagers creates more positive outcomes in grades and attitudes.
It's early in the morning, people feeling real lackadaisical, people want to go to sleep, people tired. I don't think people want to be there at 7:30 in the morning.
I personally like starting later because it's just like I'm more refreshed when I'm in my classes.
Okay, so what's ideal? Well, ideally, little kids would actually start earlier. Middle schools and high schools, they can start a little bit later, but that's really what research shows as that sweet spot in order for students to really do their best. Paula Tubman, Local 4.
All right, Paula, that is a talk about story. It's hard. I remember that age where you just really couldn't get up.
It's still hard to get up at 7 in the morning to get
especially when it's so cold and gray sometimes. Not really cold now, but definitely gray.
Yeah, that is really sort of playing on people's psychological factors at least. Hopefully we can get some sunshine in here by the end of the forecast. But we're definitely going to have to get rid of these mild temperatures to do it. It's 40 degrees outside right now. Keep in mind, average highs this time of year, 32. So we've been well above that mark for the last several days. Compared to yesterday, though, it's slightly cooler, about 4 degrees cooler here at Metro. And we showed you at the top of the show just enough of a breeze out there to give us a wind chill. Not surprisingly, you look at the satellite and boy, here comes those clouds.